We live? Sorry, I'm looking at overlay stuff. It's so confusing. So confusing. Setting customs, add a text box, add an image, add a video. Allegedly, this will make my chat show up on the screen. How do I put a box around it? Sorry, I'm messing around with this Stream Elements thing. Oh my gosh, the alerts are driving me crazy. Oh, it is showing my chat on the screen. Oh, it's doing it right now. Huh. So while I'm building the overlay, I just added a chat box and I can see my YouTube chat. I can see King Blackout and I'm not even looking at YouTube. How do you make it like opaque and put bars around it and whatnot? Settings, dark chat. Huh. What's up, King? How's your day going? Why is this text not the text that I downloaded? Setting a custom name, change the words that's in it. Huh. I don't know, but I don't need headphones for this. All right. Enough of that. Save that. Echo. Why are you breathing so heavy, dude? What? What? You just want attention? You're breathing so heavy. You're loud. Yeah, you like some butt scratches. All right, bro. Lay down. Oh, you just shocked your nose on my finger. Smoking before bed. Nice. Work was chill. I didn't go to the gym because my freaking back is screwed up again, as usual. Okay, whatever. We figured out something for today. Get this out of here. We made a step. Still got a lot of work to do on the cool overlays. For some reason on these other ones, So why is chat doesn't work on this? Why is there no chat box on this one? Should be a chat box. Alert box. Facebook, Twitter. Name, currency, amount. I don't know. I don't know how to do this stuff. Anyway, stop messing with it. I'll have to do that one of these nights. Yeah. I don't know. Some days my back, I don't know what they call it, a sciatica or whatever, where it's just like this nerve in my back and makes my whole leg hurt. Sucks. All right. I already downloaded that, I think. Okay. Where are we at today? More about Solomon. We're about to get a engineering course from the Bible. Solomon's about to build a temple, and we're going to have like 4 chapters of temple building. Kind of like the tabernacle building of Leviticus, but a little easier language. So I'm just going to get started. Echo, man, I got to let you out. Hold on, I don't know, maybe he doesn't have water or something. He should have water. Actually, he can't breathe. Come out here. Probably hot for him. It's probably getting hot because it's starting to warm up. All right. Let's thump some Bible. Let's do some thumping. Let's thump it. Chapter 6. This is 1 Kings, chapter 6. And it came to pass in the 480th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, in the month Zer, which is the 2nd month, that he began to build the house of the Lord. And the house which King Solomon built for the Lord, the length thereof was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 20 cubits, and the height thereof 30 cubits. A cubit is about 3 feet. It's your fingertip to your elbow. Not quite 3 feet, like 2.5 feet. And the porch before the temple of the house, 20 cubits, was the length thereof, according to the breadth of the house, and 10 cubits was the breadth thereof before the house. So they got a front porch. And for the house he made windows of narrow lights. And against the wall of the house he built chambers round about against the walls of the house round about, both of the temple and of the oracle. And he made chambers round about. The nethermost chamber was 5 cubits broad, and the middle was 6 cubits broad, and the third was 7 cubits broad. For without in the wall of the house he made narrowed rests round about, that the beams should not be fastened in the walls of the house. Basically, he made every piece so everything just fit together. When they built it silently. There's no hammers and nails. Everything, like Lincoln logs, everything just fits into these slots. There's slots and everything. So everything just drops in. And they build it silently out of reverence for God. that the beams should not be fastened in the walls of the house. And the house, when it was in building, was built of stone made ready before it was brought thither, so that there, I was going to say no sound, so that there was no sound, so that there was neither hammer nor axe nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in building. The door for the middle chamber was in the right side of the house, and they went up with winding stairs into the middle chamber and out of the middle into the third. So he built the house and finished it, and covered the house with beams and boards of cedar. And then he built chambers against all the house, 5 cubits high, and they rested on the house with timber of cedar. And the word of the Lord came to Solomon, saying, Concerning this house which thou art in building, if thou wilt walk in my statutes and execute my judgments and keep all my commandments to walk in them, then will I perform my word with thee, which I spake unto David thy father. And I will dwell among the children of Israel and will not forsake my people Israel. So Solomon built the house and finished it. And he built the walls of the house within with boards of cedar, both the floor of the house and the walls of the ceiling. And he covered them on the inside with wood and covered the floor of the house with planks of fir. What's up, Gorilla Biscuits? 1.5 foot. Fun fact, your foot is the same distance of your elbow to your wrist bone is. Now you know. Did you know that? Now you know. That's more than 1.5 feet. I guess probably about 1.5 feet. Whatever. I knew that. 1.5 feet. I knew that. And he built 20 cubits on the sides of the house, both the floor and the walls with boards of cedar. He even built them for it within, even for the oracle, even for the most holy place. And the house that is the temple before it was 40 cubits long. And the cedar of the house within was carved with knops and open flowers, all with cedar. There was no stone seen. And the oracle he prepared in the house within to set there the ark of the covenant of the Lord. And the oracle in the forepart was 20 cubits in length, and 20 cubits in breadth, and 20 cubits in the height thereof. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and so covered the altar, which was of cedar. So Solomon overlaid the house within with pure gold, and he made a partition by the chains of gold before the oracles, and he overlaid it with gold. And the whole house he overlaid with gold, until he had finished all the house. Also the whole altar that was by the oracle he overlaid with gold. And within the oracle he made 2 cherubims of olive tree, each 10 cubits high. And 5 cubits was the one wing of the cherubim, and 5 cubits the other wing of the cherub. From the uttermost part of the one wing unto the uttermost part of the other were 10 cubits. And the other cherub was 10 cubits. Both the cherubims were of one measure and one size. The height of the one cherubim was 10 cubits, and so was it of the other cherub. And he set the cherubims within the inner house, and they stretched forth the wings of the cherubims, so that the wing of one touched the one wall, and the wing of the other cherub touched the other wall, and their wings touched one another in the midst of the house. And he overlaid the cherubims with gold, and he carved all the walls of the house round about with carved figures of cherubims and palm trees and open flowers within and without. And the floor of the house he overlaid with gold within and without. And for the entering of the oracle, he made doors of olive tree, and the lintel and side posts were a 5th part of the wall. Is there feedback coming through? Sounds fine. Okay. Where was I? It's odd that they're told not to make engraven images. Then they make these giant golden angels. I find that odd. Where are we? And he overlaid the cherubims with gold. And he carved all the walls of the house round about with carved figures of cherubims and palm trees and open flowers within and without. We already read all this. We already read about the olive doors to the oracle. The two doors also were carved of olive tree, and he carved upon them carvings of cherubims and palm trees and open flowers, and overlaid them with gold, and spread gold upon the cherubims and upon the palm trees. Were huge churches. So also made he for the door of the temple posts of olive tree a fourth part of the wall, and the two doors were of fir tree. The two leaves of the one door were folding, and the two leaves of the other door were folding. And he carved thereon cherubims and palm trees and open flowers, and covered them with gold fitted upon the carved work. And he built the inner court with 3 rows of hewed stone and a row of cedar beams. In the 4th year was the foundations of the house of the Lord laid in the Mount Ziph. And in the 11th year, in the month Bul, which is the 8th month, was the house finished, throughout all the parts thereof, and according to all the fashion of it. So was he 7 years in building it. Well, that wasn't too descriptive of how he built it. Pretty descriptive, though. This temple would be pretty big. Everything is double the size of the tabernacle. So it's not huge like the churches we have now are huge, but it's big for their time. All right, chapter 7. Now Solomon's got to build his own house. It's going to be quite a bit bigger, just so you know. But Solomon was building his own house 13 years, and he finished all his house. So it took him 7 years to build God's house. It took him 13 years to build his own house. He built also the house of the forest of Lebanon. The length thereof was 100 cubits, and the breadth thereof 50 cubits, and the height thereof 30 cubits, upon 4 rows of cedar pillars with cedar beams upon the pillars. And it was covered with cedar above upon the beams that lay on 45 pillars, 15 in a row. And there were windows in 3 rows, and the light was against light in 3 ranks. The light was against light in 3 ranks. And all the doors and posts were square, with the windows, and light was against light in 3 ranks. I guess that means rows of windows where the light would come in from both sides. And he made a porch of pillars. The length thereof was 50 cubits, and the breadth thereof 30 cubits, and the porch was before them. And the other pillars and the thick beam were before them. Then he made a porch for the throne where he might judge, even the porch of judgment. And it was covered with cedar from one side of the floor to the other. And his house where he dwelt had another court within the porch, which was of the like work. Solomon made also an house for Pharaoh's daughter, whom he had taken to wife, like unto this porch. And all these were of costly stones, according to the measures of hewed stones, sawed with saws, within and without, even from the foundation unto the coping, and so on the outside toward the great court. And the foundation was of costly stones, even great stones, stones of 10 cubits and stones of 8 cubits. And above were costly stones, after the measure of hewed stones and cedars. And the great court round about was with 3 rows of hewed stones, and a row of cedar beams, both for the inner court of the house of the Lord and for the porch of the house. And King Solomon sent and fetched Hiram out of Tyre. He was a widow's son of the tribe of Naphtali, and his father was a man of Tyre, a worker in brass. And he was filled with wisdom and understanding, and cunning to work all works in brass. And he came to King Solomon and wrought all his work. For he cast 2 pillars of brass of 18 cubits high apiece, and a line of 12 cubits did compass either of them about. And he made 2 chapters of molten brass to set upon the tops of the pillars. Chapiters? 2 chapiters. 9. or capitals. He made 2 capitals of molten brass, like like s- like uh like symbols, 2 capitals of molten brass to set upon the tops of the pillars. The height of the one chapter was 5 cubits, and the height of the other chapter was 5 cubits. They could have just said both were 5 cubits tall. And nets of checkerwork and wreaths of chainwork for the chapiters, which were upon the top of the pillars, 7 for the one chapiter and 7 for the other chapiter. And he made the pillars and 2 rows round about upon the one network to cover the chapiters that were upon the top with pomegranates, and so did he for the other chapiter. And the chapiters that were upon the top of the pillars were of lily work in the porch, 4 cubits. And the chapiters upon the 2 pillars had pomegranates also above, over against the belly, which was by the network. And the pomegranates were 200 in rows round about upon the other chapiter. What is this explaining? Yeah. Well, this is not the most interesting part. This is just decorating how he decorated his multiple castles and temples. And he set up the pillars in the porch of the temples, and he set up the right pillar and called the name thereof Jachin, and he set up the left pillar and called the name thereof Boaz. Jachin and Boaz. And upon the top of the pillars was lily work, so was the work of the pillars finished. And he made a molten sea 10 cubits from the one brim to the other. It was round all about, and his height was 5 cubits, and a line of 30 cubits did compass it round about. And under the brim of it, round about, there were knops compassing it, 10 in a cubit compassing the sea round about. The knops were cast in 2 rows when it was cast. It stood upon 12 oxen. I need a dang picture of this thing. This is complicated. What did Solomon's house look like? We need some AI. Seven. 1 Kings chapter 7. I want pictures. That's the temple. A lot of gold. A lot of gold. A lot of gold. Audience hall of what? Audience hall of deer lost. This is all the temple. House of Pharaoh's daughter. Throne room. Okay, so there's pillars in the palace. They don't have like an AI rendering or something? It's showing me a bunch of pictures of the temple. I know what the temple looked like. I'm trying to figure what these pillars look like. These are all pictures of the temple. Porch of Pillars, House of Lebanon, Throne Porch, Solomon's Palace, the harem room. Yeah, none of these. Porch of Pillars. I don't know. So what the heck is a knop? Capitals. I know what a pillar is. Music Firefly. Ola Brie. Okay. Anyway, let's just keep going. It stood upon 12 oxen, 3 looking forward, 3 looking toward the north, and 3 looking toward the west, and 3 looking toward the south, and 3 looking toward the east. And the sea was set above them, and all their hinder parts were inward. So their butts are pointing towards each other. And it was an handbreadth thick, and the brim thereof was wrought like the brim of a cup with flowers of lilies. It contained 2,000 baths. That's a lot of water. And he made 10 bases of brass. 4 cubits was the length of one base, and 4 cubits the breadth thereof, and 3 cubits the height of it. And the work of the brass was on this manner. They had borders, and the borders were between the ledges. And on the borders that were between the ledges were lions, oxen, and cherubims. And upon the ledges there was a base above, and beneath the lions and oxen were certain additions made of thin work. And every base had 4 brazen wheels and plates of brass, and the 4 corners thereof had undersetters. Under the laver were undersetters molten at the side of every addition. And the mouth of it within the chapiter and above was a cubit, and the mouth thereof was round after the work of the base, a cubit and a half. And also upon the mouth of it were gravings with their borders foursquare, not round. And under the borders were 4 wheels, and the axle trees of the wheels were joined to the base, and the height of the wheel was a cubit and half a cubit. And the work of the wheels was like the work of a chariot wheel. Their axle trees and their naves and their felloes and their spokes were all molten. And there were 4 undersetters to the 4 corners of one base, and the undersetters were of the very base itself. And in the top of the base was there a round compass of half a cubit high, and on the top of the base the ledges thereof and the borders thereof were of the same. For on the plates of the ledges thereof and on the borders thereof he graved cherubims, lions, and palm trees, according to the proportion of every one, and additions round about. After this manner he made the 10 bases. All of them had 1 casting, 1 measure, and 1 size. Then he made 10 lavers of brass. 1 laver contained 40 baths, and 1 laver was 4 cubits, and upon every one of the 10 bases 1 laver. And he put 5 bases on the right side of the house, and 5 on the left side of the house. And he set the sea on the right side of the house, eastward over against the south. And Hiram made the lavers, and the shovels, and the bases. So Hiram made an end of doing all the work that he made King Solomon for the house of the So Hiram made an end of doing all the work that he made King Solomon for the house of the Lord. So Hiram made all these things. The 2 pillars and the 2 bowls of the chapiter that were on top of the 2 pillars, and the 2 networks to cover the 2 bowls of the chapiters which were upon the top of the pillars, and 400 pomegranates for the 2 networks, even 2 rows of pomegranates for 1 network to cover the 2 bowls of the chapiters that were upon the pillars, and the 10 bases, and 10 leaves on the bases, and 1 sea, and 12 oxen under the sea, and the pots and the shovels and the basins and all these vessels which Hiram made to King Solomon for the house of the Lord were of bright brass. In the plain of Jordan did the king cast them in the clay ground between Succoth and Zarthan. And Solomon left all the vessels unweighed, because they were exceeding many, neither was the weight of the brass found out. So there's so much brass he didn't even bother to weigh it. He's like, it's a lot. It's just a lot of brass. And Solomon made all the vessels that pertained unto the house of the Lord, the altar of gold, and the table of gold, whereupon the showbread was. And the candlesticks of pure gold, 5 on the right side and 5 on the left, before the oracle, with the flowers and the lamps and the tongs of gold. And the bowls and the snuffers and the basins and the spoons and the censers of pure gold and the hinges of gold, both for the doors of the inner house and the most holy place, and for the doors of the house, to wit, of the temple. So was ended all the work that King Solomon made for the house of the Lord. And Solomon brought in the things which David his father had dedicated, even the silver and the gold and the vessels did he put among the treasures of the house of the Lord. So he made God a fancy house. Fancy house. I need a sip of drink. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a little much. little much, but gold was much more plentiful back then. My boy Stubborn One had a theory that gold gives us, like, you could either tie this in with aliens or like more of a religious thing. Gold, they use gold in electric wiring. They found gold in the tombs of the pyramids and high points. They put golds at the top of these pillars. Um, Moses makes the people drink gold when they're drinking the calf. He boils it down into liquid and then he puts in the water and he makes them drink the water with the gold flecks in it. Sparkly, fleckily gold. He makes them drink it. So his theory is that gold somehow like connects us to, whether you believe in God or like it's like some sort of alien beacon, and that's why they always put gold at the top of towers. It's like, and then we drink the gold, so there's gold in us. Like instead of microplastics, we all got gold in us, and it's like it's a like a beacon for aliens or for spirits or something. This is just a crazy theory my my friend was coming up with, and we are thinking about it, trying to build on it. But the temple is made. It looks just like the tabernacle from aliens. It looks just like the tabernacle from Leviticus and Numbers, except bigger. Everything's like double the size. Now they're going to bring the Ark of the Covenant in here in chapter 8. Told you today is going to be a lot of not real exciting stuff happening for the next couple pages. Dude, is this all chapter 8? Chapter 8 is long than a mug. Holy cow, chapter 8's huge. Might as well get started on it. The aliens. All right. This is 1 Kings chapter 8. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel. Assemble, elders of Israel. Israel elders, assemble. And all the heads of the tribes, the chief of the fathers of the children of Israel, unto King Solomon in Jerusalem, that they might bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. And all the men of Israel assembled themselves unto King Solomon at the feast in the month Ethanim, which is the 7th month. And all the elders of Israel came, and the priests took up the ark. And they brought up the ark of the Lord, and the tabernacle of the congregation, and all the holy vessels that were in the tabernacle, even those did the priests and the Levites bring up. And King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel that were assembled unto him were with him before the ark, sacrificing sheep and oxen that could not be told nor numbered for multitude. A lot of sheep died that day. And the priest brought in the ark of the covenant of the Lord unto his place into the oracle of the house, to the most holy place, even under the wings of the cherubims. For the cherubims spread forth their wings over the place of the ark, and the cherubims covered the ark, and the staves thereof above. And they drew out the staves, that the ends of the staves were seen out in the holy place before the oracle, and they were not seen without. And there they are unto this day. There was nothing in the ark save the 2 tablets of stone which Moses put there at Horeb, when the Lord made a covenant with the children of Israel when they came out of the land of Egypt. So there's nothing been added to or removed from the ark. Only the 2 tablets of Moses are in the ark of the covenant. And it came to pass, when the priests were come out of the holy place, that the cloud filled the house of the Lord. The cloud's back. God, the cloud in cloud form, is back. Nice. It's been a while since he had a house. Ever since they were wandering through the wilderness, he ain't had a nice home. So that the priest could not stand to minister because of the cloud, for the glory of the Lord had filled the house of the Lord. Then spake Solomon the Lord, Then spake Solomon, the Lord said that we would dwell in the thick darkness. I have surely built thee an house to dwell in, a settled place for thee to abide in forever. And the king turned his face about and blessed all the congregation of Israel, and all the congregation of Israel stood. And he said, Blessed be the Lord of Israel, which spake with his mouth unto David my father, and hath with his hand fulfilled it, saying, Since the day that I brought forth my people Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build an house, but my name might be therein. But I chose David to be over my people Israel. Un momento. I need to take notes on something. Okay, anyway. Don't worry about that. What it do, y'all? Plenty of aliens online. All right. And it was in the heart of David my father to build an house for the name of the Lord God of Israel. And the Lord said unto David my father, Whereas it was in thy heart to build an house unto my name, thou didst well that it was in thine heart. Nevertheless, thou shalt not build the house, but thy son that shall come forth out of the loins, he shall build the house unto my name. Okay, so he did mention it there. I mean, it is because David has blood on his hands. He has blood on his hands from all the wars and the stuff with Bathsheba's husband, her husband. And the Lord hath performed his word that he spake, and I am risen up in the room of David my father to sit on the throne of Israel, as the Lord promised, and have built an house for the name of the Lord God of Israel. And I have set there a place for the ark, wherein is the covenant of the Lord, which he made with our fathers when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. And Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord in the presence of all the congregation of Israel, and spread forth his hands toward heaven. And he said, Lord God of Israel, there is no God like thee, in heaven above or on earth beneath, who keepest covenant and mercy with thy servants that walk before thee with all their heart. Who has kept with thy servant David my father that thou promised him? Thou speakest also with thy mouth, and hast fulfilled it with thine hand, as it is this day. Therefore now, Lord God of Israel, keep with thy servant David my father that thou promisedst him, saying, There shall not fall thee a man in my sight to sit on the throne of Israel, so that thy children take heed to their way, that they walk before me as thou hast walked before me. And now, O God of Israel, let thy word, I pray thee, be verified, which thou speakest unto thy servant David my father. But will God indeed dwell on the earth? Behold, the heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain thee. How much less this house that I have builded? Yet have thou respect unto me. Yet have thou respect unto the prayer of thy servant, and to his supplications, O Lord my God, to hearken unto the cry and to the prayer which thy servant prayeth before thee today. That thine eyes may be open towards this house night and day, even toward the place of which thou hast said, My name shall be there, that thou mayest hearken unto the prayer of which thy servant shall make toward this place. I kind of like that. So he's not saying, he's saying, God, what is it that I made you a house? I made you a fancy house with lots of gold stuff. What is it that I made that to you? You have the heavens. If the heavens can't hold you, how is this house supposed to hold you? But recognize the honor that I'm showing to you, that at least a tenth of his property is given to God on his little castle land. At least a tenth of it, he's tithing at least a tenth. His time, he's dedicating all of this towards worshiping God. So he's saying, all this stuff isn't important to me. I'm just giving it to you. It's just gold and stuff. I know it's nothing to you, but I'm going to give you a chunk of everything I have. And I think that kind of says something about tithing and giving everything to God. I know a lot of people are anti-tithing, especially when you got prosperity gospel people. People don't like hearing about that. Cool prayer, though. And hearken, I already read that. Wait, and hearken thou to the supplication of thy servant and of thy people Israel, when they shall pray toward this place, and hear thou in heaven, thy dwelling place, and when thou hearest, forgive. If any man trespass against his neighbor, and an oath be laid upon him to cause before thine altar, to come before thine altar in this house, then hear thou in heaven, and do, and judge thy servant, condemning the wicked to bring his way upon his head, and justifying the righteous to give him according to his righteousness. When thy people Israel be smitten down before the enemy, because they have sinned against thee, and shall turn against thee and confess thy name, and pray and make supplication unto thee in this house, then hear thou in heaven, and forgive the sin of my people Israel, and bring them again unto the land which thou gavest unto their fathers. When heaven is shut up, and there is no rain, because they have sinned against thee, if they pray toward this place, and confess thy name, and turn from their sin when thou afflictedest them, then hear thou in heaven, and forgive the sin of thy servants, and of thy people Israel, that thou teach them the good way wherein they should walk, and give rain upon thy land, which thou hast given to thy people for an inheritance. If there be in the land famine, if there be pestilence, blasting, mildew, locusts, or if there be caterpillar, if their enemy besiege them in the land of their cities, whatsoever plague, whatsoever sickness there be, what prayer and supplication soever be made by any man or by all thy people Israel, which shall know every man the plague of his own heart, and spread forth his hands towards this house, then hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and forgive and do, and give to every man according to his ways, whose heart thou knowest, for thou, even thou only, knowest the hearts of all the children of men. That they may fear thee all the days that they live in the land which thou gavest unto our fathers. Moreover, concerning a stranger that is not of thy people Israel, but cometh out of a far country for thy name's sake, for they shall hear of thy great name, and of thy strong hand, and of the stretched out arm. When he shall come and pray toward this house, hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for all people of the earth may know thy name, to fear thee, as do thy people of Israel, and that they may know that this house which I have builded is called by thy name. Based. Said, when strangers come and they pray towards this building, listen to them too, because they're going to come because they've heard how powerful you are. They've heard how great you are. They've heard how good it is to live in cities that model themselves according to your laws, societies. They have policies enacted that betters the people living there because they model, their political system is modeled after your laws and your commands. And it works better for us here. So all the strangers want to come here. And when they come, if they do the Egyptian, when in Rome, do what the Romans do, they do the Egyptian walk when they're in Egypt. When they're here in Israel, they're praying to you at your temple. Otherwise, we're going to cut their heads off and stone them to death. But when they come and they pray to you, because they will come and they will pray to you, because they're going to see how great it is on this side, listen to them, God. God's like, oh, I already planned on it. I already planned on it. What verses are the last part that you're reading? That's 1 Kings 8, 41 and 42. So we're on 43 now. Hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for, that all people of the earth may know thy name, to fear thee as do the people of Israel, and that they may know that this house which I have builded is called by thy name. If thy people go out to battle against their enemy, whithersoever thou shalt send them, and shall pray to the Lord toward the city which thou hast chosen, and forward. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I'm writing some notes. Popping back. I need my YouTube link. What does that mean? Okay. If thy people go out to battle against their enemy, whithersoever thou shalt send them, and shall pray unto the Lord toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house that I have built for thy name, then hear thou in heaven their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, if they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives into the land of the enemy, far or near. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions, wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. For they be thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest forth out of Egypt from the midst of the furnace of iron, that thine eyes may be open unto the supplication of thy servant, and unto the supplication of thy people Israel, to hearken unto them in all that they call for unto thee. For thou didst separate them from among all the people of the earth, to be thine inheritance, as thou spakest by the hand of Moses thy servant, when thou broughtest out our fathers out of Egypt, O Lord God. And it was so, that when Solomon had made an end of praying all this prayer and supplication unto the Lord, he arose before the altar of the Lord from kneeling on his knees with his hands spread to heaven, and he stood and blessed all the congregation of Israel with a loud voice, saying, Blessed be the Lord that hath given rest unto his people Israel, according to all that he promised. There have not failed one word of all his good promise, which he promised by the hand of Moses his servant. The Lord our God be with us, as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us, nor forsake us, that he may incline our hearts unto him, to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, which he commanded for our fathers. Hey, Gorilla Biscuits, thanks for the membership. Oh, did a thing pop up? I think the thing did pop up. I think the alert did pop up, but I don't have the alert frame on. Cecil got a membership. Nice. Where were we? That he may incline our hearts unto him to walk in all his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments which he commanded for our fathers. And let these my words wherewith I have made supplication before the Lord be nigh unto the Lord our God day and night, that he maintain the cause of his servants and the cause of his people Israel at all times as the matter shall require, that all the people of earth may know that the Lord is God and that there is none else. Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God, to walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments as at this day. And the king and all Israel with him offered sacrifice before the Lord. And Solomon offered a sacrifice of peace offerings, which he offered unto the Lord, 22,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep. So the king and all the children of Israel dedicated the house of the Lord. The same day did the king hallow the middle of the court that was before the house of the Lord, for there he offered burnt offerings and meat offerings, and the fat of the peace offerings, because the brazen altar that was before the Lord was too little to receive the burnt offerings and meat offerings and the fat of the peace offerings. And at that time Solomon held a feast, and all Israel with him, a great congregation, from the entering in of Hamath unto the river of Egypt, before the Lord our God, 7 days and 7 days, even 14 days. On the 8th day he sent the people away, and they blessed the king, and went unto their tents joyful and glad of heart, for all the goodness that the Lord had done for David his servant, and for Israel his people. Ooh, that was a long chapter. That was a doozy of a chapter, boy. I'm trying to see. Um, Hold on a second. I want to try something real quick. So, take a chapter break. Where would this be? It would be in here, 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 here. Let's try something. Oh, it did work. This is a noise. How do you slow it down? Fade. Is that what it's supposed to do? Can I slow it down? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure something out. Bonus deers. That machine in the back looks amazing. It's my flux capacitor. It's supposed to be playing audio when I do this. Luma wipe? What is that? The heck is a Luma wipe? Whoa. No, I don't like that. It cuts too fast. It cuts before the... So how do you make... Slow down. Supposed to be a way to like edit the speed. Properties? Transition point. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Transition point 300. No. Try 900. Oh, that's better. Yeah, there we go. I got it. Okay, so now... Now, how come there's no sound? Are you guys hearing a sound every time I do that? It should be a sound effect, I think. Let me see. Oh, it is making a sound. It's just very quiet, I think. No, it's not making the sound. You heard it just now because I played it, but do you hear it every time I do it? Like what? Okay, this time when are you going to hear it? Did you hear that just now? One more. Oh yeah, it's doing it. Oh, cool. Cool. Cool beans. All right. Okay. Enough of that. Again, we learned something else new. Okay. That's better. That's better. Yay. I'm figuring stuff out. Now I just got to figure out how to get the chat on the screen. Which shouldn't be that difficult. A couple ways I could do it. And it should say fancy transition effects. Watch this. Oh, we transitioned. We transitioning. Okay. Where are we at? Chapter 9. Probably going to be the last chapter. If I can get to sleep early tonight, I can get some Wukong in tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. We play Wukong Friday mornings. And I might just play, I might just play all day and then do the nighttime VK. And as soon as I get kicked off, just end the stream and go to bed. Because Saturday we got big fight night. Big fight night. And Daddy Jub said I got to wake up and watch every fight from the preliminary to the main event. I got to watch them all. So it starts at 4 p.m. my time. So I need to wake up early on Saturday. So I can't be streaming until dang 9 a.m. Oh, yeah. And free Epic Games. I almost forgot. I never got the ones from last week. So we're about to finish our last chapter here in a moment. Dude, Red Dead Redemption is only $15. I can't get it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Cotton. I just can't do it. Where's the free stuff? Deals of the week. Free games. Deathloop. Ogu. 2 Point Hospital. Free now. Free now. What's Deathloop? Whatever. I guess. I guess if it's free. Thanks for your order. Ready to install your product? Continue browsing. I'm going to continue browsing if that's going to be all right with you. Ogu and the Secret Forest? I don't want this. What is this? This better be like Cuphead. What is this? Oh, this is a Jeremy game. Jeremy's going to love this game. Looks like Zelda and Pokemon mixed. I ain't downloading this. It's Zelda. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in this game. Even if it is free. Even I'm not. I don't need free stuff that much. I must have missed the ones from last week. I forgot. Whoops. Whoops. Dead by Daylight. $20. $20. Tina's Tiny Wonderlands. This is $60. It was free last week, huh? That is the chick from Borderlands. I told you that was the girl from Borderlands. That's Tiny Tina. Yeah, those are the bad guys from Borderlands. This is like a Borderlands.
We're assaulting the city. The sky is filled with arrows and boulders and bones. Evil is all around you.
This looks like Borderlands.
Come on, let's kill these idiots.
How did I miss out on this? This is a Borderlands clone. This was free and I missed it. This is all Borderlands. That boss is in Borderlands 2. That dragon, that wooden dragon. You didn't tell me it was like this, Jeremy. What the?
Behold the horrid visage of the Banshee.
Dude, this is like a spin-off Borderlands game. And I forget it was free last week and I didn't even get it. What the? What the? Boomer gonna boom. I never played Borderlands because you never went and got it. I told you multiple times. I said Tiny Tina like Borderlands, and you're like, nah, a different Tiny Tina. How many Tiny Tinas are there? Dang it. I want it for free. How come? Can I like reset the date on my computer and trick it? How can I do it? It's got to be a way. Boomer's gonna boom. This is true. But could a boomer do this? Watch this. Oh, could a boomer do that? I bet you couldn't. I could do it again. Watch. Yeah, that ain't boomerish. Straight up. No, a boomer can't do that. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. All right. One more chapter. One more chapter. Actually, before we finish this last chapter, I do want to see. Because Wukong was running weird the other day. Let's see if it's looking fuzzy again today. I'm going to run the demo. By the way, if you get DBD, I'll play with you. Dead by Daylight? That's the one you keep telling me to get. I'm just going to run the demo. Music videos? Okay. Now how do I run the... Run benchmark. We're running a benchmark with full ray tracing on very high. DLSS 4. Everything max optimized. Because I never actually successfully did this. And it's got a function that shows me the benchmarking on screen, so I don't have to start up my benchmarking stuff. It never like pushes you though in this benchmark. We're just watching the benchmark. See, the screen is tearing a lot. So the way I stop that is VSync. We're at 25 frames per second. That's bad. Okay, let's try. That's why it's not screen tearing. It's see if this looks a little better. Gotta go. Gonna get some food. Canceled. You were getting chip shop. This already looks better, and we're at 100 frames per second. I dropped the resolution down a little bit. View distance comes in really slowly. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna take the ray tracing down a bit. I'm gonna take this down to 2x. Resolution down to 85. Global illumination. Illumination quality. Significantly. Texture quality. Shadow quality. Anti-aliasing. This is anti-aliasing is VSync. Okay. All right, we're going to finish in just a moment. I just don't want to have to mess with this tonight. So I dropped the shadow quality down a little bit. Dropped the resolution down a tiny bit. Ray tracing is at medium instead of very high. DLSS is at 2x instead of 3x or 4x. There's a little bit less detail on those sparkles. But we are maintaining 109, 110. Like, I'd rather not have the high frame generations. I think this looks good. I downloaded a 100% save file. Cheater. You freaking cheater. What's the point of even playing a game? Oh, damn. We're at 130. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Average 116, maximum was 140, minimum was 88, so we're still way above 60. Uses 10 gigs of RV RAM. Low fifth, we got down to 103, but that's our 1% low is 88. If 88 is our 1% low, that's plenty good. And that's while streaming. Post effects quality, cinematic, 2x frame generation. Maybe take it down to no frame generation. And then 2x frame generation means that our average is 58. So if we go to no frame generation, we'd have to reduce a few more things to stay consistently over 60. Motion blur strong. I might want to take the motion blur down a little bit. Okay. I think that was good. Where's where's motion blur? Anyway. Okay. We'll play that tonight. Some. And then Friday night, I'm probably going to be playing Dying Light 2 while I stream. Because we need to get into some Dying Light 2. I might start a new game. Just so we can watch the opening cutscene. And I haven't even... Well, actually, I might try Monster Hunter Wilds on Friday. Or Witcher 3. I don't know. Too many games. I can't make up my mind. Where's the... Okay. Let's okay. All right. Let's finish this last chapter, and then I need to get to bed. We're on 1 Kings chapter 9. All right. God's covenant with Solomon. Chapter 9. And it came to pass, when Solomon had finished the building of the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all Solomon's desire which he was pleased to do, that the Lord appeared to Solomon the second time, as he had appeared unto him at Gibeon. And the Lord said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and thy supplication that thou hast made before me. I have hallowed this house, which thou hast built, to put my name there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. And if thou wilt walk before me, as David thy father walked in integrity of heart and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments, then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, There shall not fall thee a man upon the throne of Israel. But if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, then I will cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house which I have hallowed for my name will I cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. And that's what's going to happen. A little foreshadowing from God, as usual. Par for the course. And at this house, which is high, everyone that passeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss, and they shall say, Why hath the Lord done thus unto this land and to this house? And they shall answer, Because they forsook the Lord their God, who brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods, and have worshipped them and served them. Therefore hath the Lord brought upon them all this evil. The Lord brings evil upon them. And it came to pass at the end of 20 years, when Solomon had built the two houses, the house of the Lord and the king's house, Now Hiram, the king of Tyre, had furnished Solomon with cedar trees and fir trees and with gold, according to all his desire. That then King Solomon gave Hiram 20 cities in the land of Galilee. And Hiram came out from Tyre to see the cities which Solomon had given him, and they pleased him not. And he said, What cities are these which thou hast given me, my brother? And he called the land Kabul, and he called them the land of Kabul unto this day. And Hiram sent to the king 60 talents of gold, and this is the reason of the levy which King Solomon raised for to build the house of the Lord, and his own house, and Milo, and the wall of Jerusalem, and Hazor, and Megiddo, and Gezer. For Pharaoh, king of Egypt, had gone up and taken Gezer and burnt it with fire, and slain the Canaanites that dwelt in the city, and given it for a present unto his daughter Solomon's wife. And Solomon built Gezer and Beth Horon, the Nether, and Baalath and Tadmor in the wilderness in the land, and all the cities of store that Solomon had, the cities for his chariots, and cities for his horsemen, and that which Solomon desired to build in Jerusalem and in Lebanon and in all the land of his dominion. And all the people that were left of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, which were not of the children of Israel, their children that were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel also were not able utterly to destroy, their children that were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel also were not able utterly to destroy. Upon those did Solomon levy a tribute of bondservice unto this day. So yeah, if God told us to wipe out everyone and we didn't wipe out everyone, you guys can be our slaves. He said three cities ain't yeah. He said, what are these cities you're bringing me? I'm gonna need some bigger cities, buddy. But the cities of Israel did Solomon make no bondmen, but they were men of war, and his servants, and his princes, and his captains, and rulers of his chariots and his horsemen. These were the chief of the officers that were over Solomon's work, 550, which bear rule over the people that brought in the work. But Pharaoh's daughter came up out of the city of David unto her house, which Solomon had built for her. Then did he build Milo. And 3 times in a year did Solomon offer burnt offerings and peace offerings upon the altar which he built unto the Lord. And he burnt incense upon the altar that was before the Lord. So he finished the house. And King Solomon made a navy of ships in Ezion Geber, which is beside Eloth, on the shore of the Red Sea in the land of Edom. And Hiram sent in the navy his servants' shipment that had knowledge of the sea with the servants of Solomon. And they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold 420 talents and brought it to King Solomon. King Solomon's raising up a kingdom. He's raising up his forces, his men, his gold, his wealth. He's building it all up. And the next chapter is just a list of all of Solomon's riches. And he's got a lot. But after it goes through the list of his riches, he meets Queen Sheba. And it's all downhill from there, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it was chapter 11 he meets Sheba. Oh, no. Chapter 10, yeah. Chapter 10, when he lists off all his riches, that's because Sheba pulls up. What's up, Abe? Queen Sheba pulls up and he's like, hey, Sheba, look at what I got. Check out all this. I got a lot of cool stuff. No, Queen Sheba. Not Bathsheba. Queen Sheba. Sheba. Everything the sunlight touches is your dominion. Simba. Simba. Okay. All right. Well, you guys got here late. Show's about over. We got transitions though. Look at this. Oh. Transed up. Why did he have to boast loud? Nothing new under the sun. Yeah, his pride took him down. That's what I'm saying. He sleeps with some strange women. He's getting ethnic. He'd like them exotic girls. And then they're like, Solomon, you have a lot of nice stuff, but you don't have a statue to Baal. You don't have an idol to Moloch. I can't be with a man who doesn't have a statue to Moloch. Solomon's like, yo, brass maker, I'm gonna need that dang Moloch statue real quick. Trying to get with Miss Thang over here from Egyptopia. Yeah, he's trying to get that ethnic thing. He's trying to get with some strange women. He's had enough of the Israel flavor. He's trying to get with some of these queens. So what if they worship Baal and Amaranth and Moloch and gang gang? Lord have mercy. I mean, can you blame him? Can you blame a guy? You know? But we'll do all that tomorrow, guys. I gotta go. I gotta get some sleep. Sleep time. I'm gonna try to wake up. I watched Thunderbolts last night. Yesterday. Before I went to sleep. That's why I didn't wake up and play Wukong, because I was up pretty late watching that movie. Pretty decent as far as Marvel movies go. A lot of woman power. A lot of strong, independent women with no superpowers, able to beat invincible people. You know? But it was decent. Oh, wait. Let's see if it pops up. Did the notification pop up? No? There it is. Hey, we got noties. We got a little notification. Oh, snap. Notification pop up? No. Notification pop up? No. There it is. Hey, we got noties. We got a little notification. You can't really. You couldn't see it, though. You couldn't see what it said. That was weird. Wonder why. I wonder why you couldn't really see. Yeah, it didn't display right. Did you see that? It was like chopped off. But it dinged and it popped up on the screen. It was just. Echo? Oh, are we echoing? I wonder why I can't. Is it? Is it still echoing? It should be off now. Censoring the notification text? Nah, I gotta figure out that. I gotta figure out how to put the chat on the screen. Well, I think I know how to do it now. Oh, yeah, it's because I was I was playing it on the YouTube so I could hear if when the notification went off. Yeah, that's what happened. I was watching it. I was watching the stream and I wanted to hear the blink. But anyway, let's see. You know what I was thinking? I think dark mode might be a trick to like dumb us down. Cuz when you read, like people used to read a lot more, like books, like real life books. The page is white and the words are black. So for centuries, we've been reading black words on a white background, and our IQ average has consistently gone up and up and up, and we've been getting more and more civilized, more and more intelligent, until now everybody's got a screen in their phone in their hand and in their face all the time, and they're reading everything off screens, and their attention span's getting shorter by TikTok shorts and reels, Facebook reels, and limited characters in X, et cetera, et cetera. It's shortening our attention span. Plus, the screen, we think the blue light is going to kill my eyes or something. So we turn everything on dark mode. But now the reading we do is black with white words because everybody's using dark mode. But my Discord's in dark mode, my OBS is in dark mode, my Google's in dark mode, my YouTube chat's in dark mode. Every word that I'm looking at on my screen right now and reading is a white word on a black background. So then when I read a real person book, these old things, back in my day, books had these things called pages. When you read, your eyes feel I feel tired quicker. I can't read as fast as I used to. I can't absorb as much of the information as I used to unless I read it a couple. I think this dark mode is like retardifying my reading sight. Does any of that make sense? I just made this theory up last night and I was thinking about it. That explains it, right? That's why people are getting dumber. Books, what is this you speak of? Books don't emit light, plus some of us still read actual books. No, we read the stars. See, Gorilla Biscuits agrees with me. Nah, you're just going blind. I'm not going blind. My vision is perfect. I basically got hawk vision. I pretty much got better vision than a hawk. Like, actually. Like, I really have hawk vision. See an eye doctor? No! That's a darn scam. You about to make me cuss in the Bible show. That's a scam. Self-diagnosed with perfect vision. I do have hawk vision. For real. We have multiple bookshelves. There's 3 in this room alone. I do not live in denial. Yeah, but Shiva, the dark mode's there's got to be something to this. There's got to be something to this. We shouldn't be reading. Maybe the screens are the problem. Cuz we wouldn't have to read white words on black backgrounds if the light wasn't destroying our eyes. I have 2025. I have 2010. I have 5. Yeah. Hawk vision. 3. That's right. I got that 3-3 vision. That's a real thing. That's hawk vision. 3-3. Something like that. Doc says better than perfect. Nah, 2020 is better than 2025. 1010 is better than 2020. 3-3. Better than perfect is a contradiction. Yeah, your doc's an idiot. Your doc's an idiot. That's why I don't go to the doctor, Abe. Looking at a light is more harmful than looking at a piece of paper. Dark mode is less straining on your eyes. Whatever, dude. I'm not taking your advice on eye on eye health. Books don't emit light, screens do. They reflect light. White pages reflect light. That's why they're white. Duh. Or do they absorb it all? I forget. Dude, y'all ain't been doing the education, okay? Stare at the sun for an hour nonstop and let's see how quickly you go blind. Well, what are we supposed to do? Turn the sun dark mode forever? No. Is that how you've solved the problem? Just dark mode the sun forever? When are you going on VR chat next? We're going to have to do that. I haven't tried VR chat since I got this computer. Last time I tried it was on the laptop and it was all glitchy. I know I don't, because there's no dark mode, or else I would stare at it. They absorb the wavelengths of light we don't see, so that page of a book isn't white. White is what it is not. White is when it absorbs all the colors. Black is when it reflects back all the colors to our eyes. No, wait. Maybe it's the opposite of that. I don't know. Now look at your monitor, which is a fancy light bulb. It's a lot of light bulbs. It's thousands of little light bulbs. It's a liquid crystal display, all right? I'm just saying, dark mode is making everybody dumber. I think that's true. I think it's a fact. The light is bad too. We'll only see the reflected wavelengths of light, what the object rejects. Yes, if it reflects the full light color spectrum back to your eye, you see white. So I was right when I said your white piece of paper reflects light. So it's basically illuminated. Black is absorption, white is reflection. Yeah. I agree. That's what I said in the beginning. They got a new John Wick. Jane Wick. Ballerina. Wanna be a ballerina. The page is actually black? No. Dude, I don't even think wavelengths are real. I don't know if I believe all that. Because you can't really show me a wavelength. You could tell me oh, because the wavelength did it. That's why you heard a sound. Or, oh, because of the wavelengths. That's why you see stuff. I don't believe that. Oh, I don't know for sure about all that. It don't make no dang sense. Why can't I mess it up if I do this? You know? You ever think about that? I've thought about that. I don't believe in wavelengths. Like light spectrums, color spectrums, infrared, ultraviolet, sound waves, frequencies, radio waves. I don't think I believe in any of that. I get it. I've heard the science, okay? I understand how allegedly it works. But they think they just might be making stuff up, like post hoc trying to figure out how to explain something. They're like, well, let's just make up these waves. That'll explain it. Technically, you could if the wave was small enough to be affected by that. I mean, you can still hear the microphone when I do this. You can still see me even if I could try to be like John Cena and say you can't see me, but you really can see me. Josh is so American. Dude, if it wasn't for Americans, you wouldn't even know what a wavelength is. We just made that up to fool you brainiacs over there in England. That's right. We made up wavelengths to trick foreigners. It's not dumb. There's nothing dumb about this. What is dumb? This is critical thinking. Did you mean Dave Bautista? No, John Cena is the guy that says you can't see me. But you really still can see him though. Like, I don't know who told him that he disappears when he does that, because he doesn't. I can still see him. I try, Abe. All right. I do got to go. Let me see if there's somebody I can raid. I'm going to work on this. I know I'm going to debate somebody. Wavelengths aren't real. I think I win that debate 9 times out of 10. It's Toy Cat. I don't know who that is. I got people on my thing that I don't know who they are. Go watch the Hake Report. He's got 30 minutes left. I've literally never seen John Cena in my life. I think he's an imaginary character. You can't see him, allegedly. Allegedly, you can't see him. Have you heard of the bug bladder beast of Trawl? No. Is there a joke here? Did I just walk into a D's nuts joke? The bug bladder beast of Trawl. What's that? What daddy? What daddy? All right. I'll see you guys later. Tell me about the blood bladder beast of Blau later on. But go say hi to Hake. Put some chairs in Hake's chat, guys. God bless. I'm out. Peace.